Darkness filled the void between stars. Thousands of alien ships formed a wall of light across the Black Sea, their hulls glowing with blue energy. The Galactic Council fleet had arrived at Earth. Every species that ruled the known galaxy was present. Their goal was simple: make the humans kneel. Inside the orbiting defense ring above Earth, Commander Laura Briggs stood before a wide window that showed the endless swarm of alien ships. She looked calm, though the sight could crush any ordinary mind. The aliens had come with a force large enough to destroy planets. Their formation stretched from the moon to Mars. Yet Earth's skies were quiet. Her officer spoke in a tense voice. "Ma'am, the Council fleet demands surrender. They say Earth must submit its technology for inspection." Laura did not blink. "Tell them Earth is ready to talk. Nothing more." Outside, the lead alien dreadnought broadcasted its voice across every frequency. "This is High Speaker Vareth of the Galactic Council. Humanity stands accused of breaking interstellar peace. Power down your defenses. Hand over your command centers. Failure to comply will result in your total disarmament." Every nation on Earth heard the words. Billions watched from cities and colonies. The aliens thought the humans would panic, but the skies remained still. Laura turned to her communication officer. "Are they reading our defense grid?" "Yes, Commander. They see no active fleet. Only civilian transport ships and the orbital ring." She smiled faintly. "Good. Let them think we are unarmed." The alien fleet moved closer. Massive cruisers passed Jupiter's orbit, flanked by escort ships. Each ship's hull glowed brighter as they prepared to fire a warning shot. Suddenly, one of the alien admirals shouted over the broadcast. "Why do you hide behind words, human? You cannot face the Council fleet." Laura replied softly. "Who said we were hiding?" The stars shifted. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, space itself began to bend near Saturn. Ripples spread like waves through the void. The alien sensors screamed with errors. Energy readings spiked beyond scale. From the empty dark, faint outlines appeared. Sharp, angular, black as shadow. A low hum filled the comm channels, a frequency so deep it shook the hulls of the alien ships. The cloaked figures in space became clear. Gigantic vessels, silent, dark, and ancient-looking. No light reflected off their hulls. Each one carried the symbol of the Terran Defense Directorate. The alien fleets froze. Thousands of ships, and not one dared to move. Commander Laura gave a simple order. "Uncloak primary formation." The void exploded with light. A massive Terran warship appeared, longer than any Council vessel, its surface covered with shifting panels of reflective armor. Around it, hundreds of smaller ships revealed themselves, moving like wolves in formation. The humans had been there all along, watching from the dark. On every alien screen, a name appeared: DS Dauntless. The alien admirals screamed orders, but the sensors failed. Every targeting system malfunctioned. Missiles lost their lock. Energy weapons shut down as if space itself had turned against them. Commander Laura's calm voice filled the comms. "This is the Terran Warship Dauntless. You came demanding peace through fear. We came offering peace through strength. If you wish to talk, now is the time." The alien high speaker's voice trembled. "You hit a war fleet under our very sensors?" "Impossible." Laura's answer was simple. "Impossible is what humans do best." The alien fleet hesitated. None of them dared to fire first. The humans had shown something no species expected: the power of patience, precision, and control. From orbit, the view shifted toward Earth. Billions of humans watched in silence as their defenders stood unshaken against the galaxy's most powerful armada. That was the moment the galaxy realized peace was never weakness. The scene faded into the grand hall of the Galactic Council chamber orbiting the gas giant Serath. Thousands of alien representatives filled the seats. The air was tense, filled with voices arguing in dozens of languages. In the center stood Earth's envoy, Ambassador Raymond Holt, dressed in a simple gray uniform. His expression was calm, unreadable. The high speaker glared down from the podium. "Humanity deceived us. You came to our council claiming peace, yet you hide warships that defy our treaties. Do you deny this?" Raymond looked up at the endless rows of alien faces. "We deny nothing. We only defend what is ours." Laughter echoed through the chamber. The alien delegates jeered. One slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Defend? You threaten the stability of the entire galaxy!" Raymond replied in a steady tone. "We do not threaten. We prepare. That is how Earth survived for centuries. That is how peace survives now." The High Speaker raised his voice. "You will surrender your fleet for inspection or be expelled from the Council. Humanity's membership will be revoked." Raymond stood silently for a moment. Then he gestured to the large holographic display behind him. "Before you make that decision, perhaps you should see what your Council fleets were preparing while you accused us." The lights dimmed. The projection changed. Footage appeared. Classified recordings showing Council ships secretly entering Sol space weeks before the so-called inspection. The audience gasped as the images played. Alien fleets had planned to encircle Earth and seize its orbital defenses by force. Raymond spoke again. "You came to our system with weapons charged. We simply decided to be ready first." The Council chamber erupted in chaos. Some delegates shouted accusations at the High Speaker. Others sat frozen in disbelief. The truth was undeniable. Raymond's voice stayed calm. "We asked for peace from the beginning. But peace without respect is just another form of war." Outside the Council chamber window, stars shone through the void. One of them flickered, brighter than the rest. The aliens turned their gaze. The flicker grew stronger until the outline of a ship appeared in the distance, black, sleek and silent. It was the Dauntless again, waiting beyond the Council station, half-cloaked and still. Raymond's communicator blinked softly. A voice came through, Laura's. "We're in position. They'll see us when you're ready." He gave a small nod and looked back at the alien leaders. "You accused us of hiding. Very well. No more hiding." The chamber window dimmed automatically as the Dauntless uncloaked completely, filling the entire view. Its hull shimmered with ghostly energy and its engines pulsed with quiet power. The ship was so vast that even the massive Council station seemed small beside it. Gasps filled the chamber. Even the High Speaker's tendrils froze mid-motion. Raymond spoke one last time. "That is the Dauntless. It carries enough power to defend a world or end a war. It will never fire first, but it will always be watching." The aliens fell silent. The sound of their thousands of voices died in the vast hall. The realization spread like cold wind through every delegate present. Humanity, the small blue world they once called primitive, had built something far beyond their control. Raymond looked at them all, his voice calm and final. "We did not come to rule. We came to survive. You wanted to know what stands behind our peace. Now you do." The chamber lights flickered as the Dauntless slowly turned in orbit, its engines glowing brighter for a moment before fading back into the darkness. The stars swallowed it again. No one spoke. The entire galaxy had seen the truth. The humans had come in peace. But behind that peace stood a silent warship. Patient, unseen, and ready. And from that day forward, every empire, every fleet, every ruler of the stars remembered the night the Terran Warship Uncloaked. The night sky above Earth was calm, but in orbit, chaos was unfolding. A sudden wave of energy surged from deep space, spreading across the solar system. Satellites flickered, defense radars shut down, and the communication networks of every Terran outpost went silent for 10 full seconds. When the systems came back online, the readings made no sense. An unidentified fleet had appeared near Neptune. 30 ships, massive and silent, holding position just beyond human territory. In the Terran Command Center beneath the Pacific Ocean, General Marcus Hale stood before a wall of holoscreens. His officers waited for his command. The alien ships carried no Council insignia, no known transponder codes. Their design was unlike anything in the Council's archives: smooth silver hulls that reflected no light, and energy cores that pulsed in strange, living rhythms. "Are they broadcasting?" Hale asked quietly. His aide shook her head. "Nothing. No signal, no contact attempts. Just watching." The general's eyes narrowed. "Then let's give them something to watch." High above Earth, the orbital defense platforms began to shift. Massive panels rotated toward Neptune, and within moments, hundreds of Terran sensor arrays came online. Invisible beams of gravitic light scanned the enemy fleet, measuring heat, motion, and distortion. The alien ships reacted instantly. They began to move, precisely, like a single organism. "Tracking patterns, sir," the aide said. "They're mapping our defense network." "They're testing us," Hale muttered. "But they still think we're blind." He turned to the tactical console and keyed a code known only to a few in the Directorate. Far beyond Mars, a cluster of empty space shimmered. There was nothing there, no station, no ship. But deep within that void, something woke up. A pulse spread outward, bending light, bending sound, bending reality itself. The alien ships stopped moving. For a second, they seemed confused, as if their sensors had gone blind. And then, one by one, the silver hulls began to flicker. Their lights dimmed, their engines faltered. "They've lost targeting systems," an officer reported. "It's working." General Hale said nothing. He watched as the entire alien fleet began to fall into disarray, drifting slowly as if trapped in invisible webs. The humans had activated the Inspector field, an experimental defense grid powered by quantum interference. To outsiders, it looked like an accident, a random energy storm. In truth, it was a net, a silent shield that disrupted any sensor trying to look inside. From the outside, humanity appeared weak, disorganized, and slow. But within that silence, deep beneath the surface, humans had built something the galaxy could not understand. 5 minutes later, the alien fleet withdrew. Without firing a shot, they vanished beyond Neptune's orbit. General Hale turned to his team. "Record everything. They'll come again, and next time, they won't be alone." He was right. 3 months later, the Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. The High Speaker declared that the mysterious fleet was a human fabrication, a hidden Terran army disguised as an alien race. The accusation spread across the galaxy, stirring fear and suspicion. Most species believed the humans had broken the peace compact, developing forbidden technologies. Earth denied the claims, but no one listened. The Council demanded inspection of Terran space. The humans agreed, but only to send an ambassador, not their ships. That was how our Ambassador Raymond Holt found himself walking through the halls of the Galactic Council's Grand Chamber. The room was filled with light and sound, voices of hundreds of species echoing from floating platforms. Every eye turned toward the lone human at the center of the floor. The High Speaker's voice boomed. "Ambassador Holt of Earth, you stand accused of concealing military projects and building a hidden fleet capable of cloaking from all known sensors. Do you deny these charges?" Raymond's voice was calm. "We deny nothing. But I would ask, what proof do you have?" A hollow screen appeared, showing grainy footage of ships disappearing near Saturn. Another screen displayed intercepted transmissions, code fragments, and distorted signals that looked human. The aliens murmured in anger. Raymond waited until the noise died. Then he said, "Those signals were not ours. They belong to the fleet that appeared near Neptune." The High Speaker leaned forward. "You expect us to believe that an unknown fleet entered your system and you could not identify it?" "Not could not," Raymond said. "Did not." The chamber fell silent. He continued, "We watched them. We studied their energy patterns. Their technology was beyond anything known to this council. When we tried to make contact, they fled. If you believe they were ours, then explain why they ran." The delegates whispered among themselves. The High Speaker's eyes narrowed. "If you are not lying, then who were they?" Raymond looked up at the ceiling, where the stars of the council's holographic sky shimmered. "Something old," he said. "Something that has been watching all of us for a long time." The statement sent a chill through the chamber. The High Speaker ended the session, ordering a temporary suspension of Earth's privileges until proof was provided. Back on Earth, General Hale and Commander Laura Briggs reviewed the recordings from the Neptune incident. The energy signatures from the alien fleet were like nothing human sensors had seen before. Organic, shifting, almost alive. Laura frowned. "You think they were council ships using new tech?" Hale shook his head. "No, the council doesn't move like that. Whoever they are, they wanted to see how far we'd go before revealing our fleet. And we showed them the Spectre field," she said. "Yes," Hale replied. Now they know we can blind them, which means the next time they come, they'll bring something stronger. Later that night, as the stars passed over Earth's surface, the Dauntless drifted in silent orbit behind the moon. Its hull shimmered faintly, invisible to any sensor in the galaxy. Inside the command deck, Captain Laura Vance, sister to Commander Briggs, watched the tactical feed. Her communications officer said softly, "We've received an encrypted message from the Council relay. They're demanding another hearing. They want Earth to explain the disappearance of the Neptune fleet." Laura leaned forward. "Disappearance?" "Yes, Captain. The entire fleet that appeared near Neptune. It's gone. Vanished without trace." Laura stared at the screen. "That fleet wasn't ours. So where did they go?" No one answered. Outside the viewport, the stars seemed to flicker unnaturally, as if something vast moved between them. In the following weeks, rumors spread across the galaxy. Merchant ships reported ghostly vessels drifting through warp corridors. Colonies vanished without distress calls. Every race whispered the same name, the Spectres of Sol. The Council began to panic. They feared humanity had unleashed some hidden weapon. In truth, Earth was just as afraid. Ambassador Holt was summoned again. In front of the Council, he faced growing anger. The High Speaker shouted, "You claim innocence, yet fleets disappear wherever your people go. If this continues, we will impose sanctions." "Earth will be isolated," Raymond replied, his tone measured. "Isolation is not something humans fear. We've lived alone before." The crowd hissed and roared, but Raymond did not look away. He knew the Council wanted a reason to strip Earth of power. Yet he also knew something deeper. The mysterious fleet near Neptune had not been Council ships or human. It had been testing all of them. After the hearing, as he walked through the silent corridors of the station, Raymond's communicator buzzed. "It was Laura. Ambassador," she said, her voice low. "Our deep-range scanners picked up something new. A signal coming from beyond the edge of the galaxy. It matches the fleet's pattern." Raymond stopped walking. "What does it say?" "It's not a message," Laura said. "It's a countdown." He looked out the window at the endless sea of stars. "Then we don't have much time." The connection ended. Far away, the Dauntless shifted its orbit. Engines silent, cloak engaged. Its crew prepared for the unknown. Earth stood quiet, unaware that something in the dark was watching, waiting for the next move. And in the distance, beyond the reach of any telescope, a shadow moved across the stars, a shape so large it blotted out light itself. The galaxy believed humanity was the threat. But soon, they would all learn the truth. Humans were not the danger. They were the only ones ready for what was coming. The stars above Mars flickered like dying embers as the alien fleet emerged from the black void. Hundreds of ships, sleek and silver, surrounded the red planet in a perfect circle. Their hulls glowed with pale light, forming a web of energy that pulsed with quiet menace. The Galactic Council had arrived, and they were not here for peace. In orbit, the Terran Defense Fleet held position, small in number, but eerily calm. Every human ship floated in silence, engines cold, weapons offline. The alien commanders were confused. To them, it looked as if humanity had given up. Inside the command deck of the Terran Warship Sentinel, Captain Aaron Locke watched the incoming transmission. The alien admiral appeared as a shimmering blue figure, his voice smooth but filled with arrogance. "Terran vessels, this is the Galactic Council Enforcement Fleet. You are outnumbered and outgunned. Power down your reactors and prepare to be boarded. Earth has been declared a restricted world." Aaron didn't move. "And if we refuse?" The alien's smile was thin. "Then you will be erased." Aaron leaned back in her chair. "Then I hope you brought enough ships." The line cut. Silence returned. The alien fleet began to move, weapons charging. Bright lines of energy formed across the sky like cracks in glass. The humans did nothing. Then, without warning, the Martian moons began to shift. Phobos and Deimos moved from their usual orbits, turning slowly toward the alien formation. Their surfaces glowed faintly. Beneath the rocky crusts, hidden machinery woke up for the first time in centuries. The alien admirals screamed orders. "Those are artificial constructs." "Destroy them!" But it was too late. The moons lit up like small suns, and beams of golden energy shot across the void. The light struck the alien ships, not with heat, but with silence. Complete signal collapse. Their systems died instantly. Engines failed, weapons shut down, and navigation grids vanished. In a moment, half the fleet went dark. Inside the Sentinel, Aaron's crew watched in awe as the alien ships drifted powerless through space. "Activate field link," she ordered. From the surface of Mars, hidden transmitters rose from the dust. A vast invisible web connected with the moons and spread toward the Terran ships. The humans had built a planetary defense grid using the natural satellites themselves. To the galaxy, they looked like barren rocks. In truth, they were weapons, ancient, quiet, and precise. The alien flagship tried to retreat, but every jump drive malfunctioned. The network locked them in place. Aaron spoke softly over the comms, her voice echoing across the dead air. "You came to claim Mars. You came to take Earth. But you forgot to ask what we built while you were watching." For 5 long minutes, the alien fleet floated helplessly as the humans watched. Then Aaron gave a single command. "Release them." The field dropped. Engines reignited, alarms blared, and the alien fleet scattered. None dared to fire again. They had seen enough. That was the last time the Council tried to invade human territory. But the damage was done. The Council now feared Earth more than ever. Days later, Ambassador Raymond Holt stood once again before the Galactic Council chamber. Thousands of alien eyes stared down at him, full of suspicion and anger. The High Speaker's voice thundered through the hall. "You turned moons into weapons. You activated forbidden planetary systems. You have broken every treaty of peace." Raymond remained calm. "We only defended what is ours. You built weapons of annihilation beneath our eyes." The Speaker roared. "The galaxy cannot tolerate such deception." Raymond looked around the hall, then said slowly, "The galaxy tolerated your fleets around our world. It tolerated your secret surveillance on our colonies. But the moment we defend ourselves, you call it deception." Murmurs filled the chamber. Some delegates looked uneasy. Others shouted for silence. Raymond raised a hand. "We did not build the Mars grid to conquer. We built it because you left us no choice. Every treaty you offered came with chains. Every alliance came with demands. Humanity remembers the past. We survived because we prepared." The High Speaker leaned forward, his voice low and cold. "You speak as though you do not need this council." Raymond met his gaze. "Perhaps we never did," the words echoed across the vast hall. For the first time in centuries, someone had spoken defiance inside the chamber. Outside, the galaxy trembled. On distant worlds, news of the Mars incident spread like wildfire. Many species secretly admired humanity's boldness. Others feared it. Fleets began to move in hidden corridors of space. Alliances shifted in shadow, and whispers of war filled the stars. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Marcus Hale convened a secret meeting inside the Terran Command Center. Captain Aaron Locke joined him via hologram from Mars. "The Council will retaliate," Hale said. "They can't let this stand," Aaron nodded. "Then we need to be ready before they are." Hale brought up a map of the galaxy. Red lines marked council routes. Blue marks represented Terran colonies. At the edge of the map, near the galactic rim, a dark symbol flickered. "That's where the unknown fleet appeared before disappearing," Hale said. "It's not council, not human, and not gone. We think they're observing everything." "Then who are they?" Aaron asked. Hale looked out the window at the dark ocean above the dome. "Maybe they're the reason the council is panicking. Maybe they've been watching us all, waiting to see who fires first." Far away, near the galactic rim, a cluster of stars went dark. Dozens of listening stations stopped transmitting. Patrol ships vanished without warning. The council blamed pirates, but the humans knew better. Something was moving in the dark. At the next council session, Raymond arrived earlier than expected. He carried a small data core, glowing faintly blue. When he placed it on the podium, the chamber lights dimmed. A hologram appeared, an image of the vanished listening posts. The footage showed them turning toward something unseen, their sensors detecting massive distortions. Then static. Raymond spoke quietly. "This was not caused by us. Whatever is out there destroyed entire fleets without a single explosion. You think humanity is your problem? You're wrong. We're the only ones preparing for what's coming. The chamber fell into stunned silence. The high speaker's expression twisted in disbelief. You expect us to believe this? Raymond stared straight at him. You don't have to believe. Just survive long enough to see it yourself. Later, as he left the council chamber, Raymond's communicator buzzed. Captain Aaron's voice came through, tense and sharp. Ambassador, our sensors picked up something new. An object just appeared beyond the Kuiper belt. It's bigger than the Dauntless. And it's moving fast. Raymond stopped walking.
Heading where?
Earth, she said. He looked out the wide corridor window, where the distant stars shone like cold fire. Then the council won't need to believe for long. The transmission ended. That night, the skies over Earth shimmered faintly. The moonlight dimmed for a few seconds, as though something enormous passed between it and the sun. Across the planet, people looked up, unaware that the shadow they saw was not a cloud, but a ship. Humanity had survived the Council's wrath. Now, they faced something far older and far more dangerous. And in the deep silence of space, the Terran warship Dauntless stirred from its hidden orbit, engines awakening like a sleeping giant. It turned slowly toward the outer edge of the solar system. The next chapter of humanity's fight was about to begin. The stars above Earth burned red with the light of alien warships. Thousands of them formed a dark ocean in orbit, their shapes blocking the sun, their weapons humming with silent menace. From the ground, cities dimmed as global defense grids came online. Every radar on Earth screamed at once. Humanity stood ready, but in the void between fleets, tension waited like a blade hanging over the galaxy. On the deck of the Terran flagship, Resolute Dawn, Captain Marcus held his breath. The alien fleet had sent no signal. They simply sat there, 1,000 ships aimed at Earth's atmosphere. The communication officer whispered, "No response, sir. They're ignoring all hails." Marcus nodded slowly, eyes fixed on the enemy lines. "They think we're afraid," he said quietly. "Let them." A new contact flashed across the tactical map. 3 massive alien dreadnoughts moving closer, their hulls glowing with energy signatures far beyond human tech. The ship's AI confirmed, "Their weapons are charging. Estimated time to firing sequence, 90 seconds. Marcus raised a hand. "Open global channel." His voice carried across all Terran frequencies, to every ship, every soldier, every civilian listening below. "This is Captain Marcus of the Terran Defense Fleet. They believe they can strike us without consequence. They forget who we are. They forget what built this planet. Let them see the truth." In orbit, a silent ripple spread through the black. The alien commanders on their bridge noticed a shimmer behind the human ships. Then hundreds of cloaked vessels appeared one by one. Black hulls shaped like blades of glass, engines glowing faint blue. The hidden Terran fleet revealed itself, far larger than anyone expected. The alien commander hissed a curse. "Impossible." They had only 30 ships. Marcus looked calm. "You thought you were watching us," he said quietly. "But it was us watching you." The first volley fired. Blue-white beams crossed the darkness and the battle began. The alien fleet struck first, raining plasma fire upon Earth's defense ring. But the humans did not defend, they moved. Every Terran ship accelerated in perfect unison, turning impossible vectors, slipping between enemy lines. The alien gunners couldn't track them. It was like trying to hit lightning. Down on Earth, billions watched through live feeds. The sky burned with trails of light as war began above their world. For the first time in centuries, humanity stood united, one planet, one purpose, one heartbeat. In the Galactic Council chamber, far across the stars, silence filled the hall as the alien ambassadors watched the battle feed. The Council High Speaker, a creature of crystal and gas, muttered in disbelief. They were supposed to be primitive. How did they hide a fleet that large? An older ambassador turned its many eyes toward the screen. "Because they do what no one else dares," it whispered. "They build in secret. They prepare in silence. Back in orbit, the alien dreadnoughts launched their main weapons. Massive energy beams tore through space, cutting through human destroyers. A dozen Terran ships vanished in a single pulse. On the Resolute Dawn, alarms screamed. Marcus held steady, shouting over the noise. "Bring the Dawn array online." The engineer hesitated. "Sir, that system's never been tested." Marcus's reply was cold. "Then today we test it." The ship's hull opened like a blooming flower, revealing a spinning ring of metal charged with quantum light. The dawn array came to life, all power diverted to one weapon. A surge of energy brighter than the sun flashed outward, hitting the nearest alien dreadnought head-on. The massive vessel disintegrated instantly. No explosion, no debris, just light fading into dust. The rest of the alien fleet froze for a moment, their formation breaking as fear rippled through their ranks. Humanity had just erased one of their most powerful ships in a single shot. But Marcus knew it wasn't over. The second dreadnought was moving, its weapons locked on Earth. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, the alien leaders argued furiously. "Stop them before they unleash the second phase!" shouted one. "Earth cannot be allowed to possess weapons of that scale." Another replied bitterly, "You're too late! The humans have already decided the outcome." In orbit, the human fleet broke formation, diving into the heart of the enemy swarm. The resolute Dawn pushed forward, leading the charge. Fighter wings streamed past its hull like silver arrows. Each Terran ship moved with strange coordination, their paths weaving through enemy lines as if guided by one shared mind. On the alien command bridge, chaos spread. "Their movements, how do they predict our fire?" cried one officer. The commander snarled, "They're using quantum coordination!" "Their ships are linked." The commander's screens flickered. A transmission came through, uninvited. A human face appeared. It was Marcus, calm and unflinching. "You came to our world without understanding what it means to face us," he said. "You thought peace made us weak. You were wrong. Then the humans struck again. This time they didn't use brute force. They turned the enemy's weapons back against them. Terran cyber teams hacked into alien control grids, rerouting fire commands. Alien dreadnoughts began firing on their own allies. Confusion spread like wildfire. From Earth's surface, the sky lit with thousands of explosions. Every nation's leaders watched, speechless. Humanity's secret power wasn't only its weapons. It was its unity, its coordination, its refusal to kneel. As the last of the first alien wave broke apart, Marcus ordered, "Hold position. Don't chase. Let them see the result." In the distance, broken alien vessels drifted, glowing faintly as their reactors failed. The surviving ships turned away, retreating into the dark void. The bridge of the resolute Dawn was silent except for the low hum of systems stabilizing. Marcus finally exhaled. "Status? 17 ships lost," the officer replied softly. "But the planet is safe." Marcus looked out toward the stars. "Safe for now," he said. "They'll be back. And next time, they won't underestimate us." In the council chamber, the high speaker turned off the broadcast and faced the assembly. "Earth has broken the balance," it said coldly. "If they can build such power in isolation, imagine what they will do when united with others." An ambassador leaned forward. "Perhaps peace was the mistake. Perhaps we should have left them alone." The high speaker's form pulsed with shifting light. "Peace was the mistake," it agreed. "Now we must prepare for war." Far above Earth, the Terran fleet reformed into silent ranks. The planet below glowed blue and alive, untouched. For the first time in millennia, the galaxy had seen what humanity truly was. Not prey, not children, but warriors born of fire and silence. And in the heart of the resolute Dawn, Marcus stood before the holographic display of the stars. The enemy's retreating signatures were still visible, heading back toward their empire's core. He turned to his crew. "We're not done," he said quietly. "Follow them." "I want to know where they came from." The crew stared at him in shock. "Sir, that's beyond council space, deep in enemy territory." Marcus smiled faintly. "Good. That's where the truth hides." The resolute Dawn's engines flared, and one by one the Terran ships vanished into warp space. The stars stretched, and silence filled the void again. In that silence, the galaxy learned a terrible truth. Humanity had never been weak. It had only been waiting. The galaxy burned. Massive alien fleets gathered in the void beyond known space, their formations stretching across light years. Every species under the Galactic Council had been summoned. Thousands of ships moved in silence, united under one banner, their purpose clear: destroy Earth before it could rise beyond control. The Council had declared humanity a threat to galactic order. But as the invasion armada prepared to move, strange signals began appearing across their long-range sensors. Fleets vanished. Communications went dark. In the space between stars, something was hunting them. On the bridge of the alien flagship Vorus Prime, the Supreme Commander shouted for reports. "What is destroying our forward scouts?" His officers trembled, their screens showing only static and distorted fragments, ships split apart by unseen energy beams, communications jammed by unknown interference. One officer turned to him. "Commander, it's not pirates. It's them. It's the Terrans." In deep space, hidden behind gravity shadows, the Terran fleet waited. Hundreds of human warships drifted silently, cloaked from all known sensors. At the center was the resolute Dawn, scarred from battle but alive with new upgrades. Captain Marcus stood at the viewport, eyes calm, voice steady. "They've come for us," he said. "Let's remind them what happens when you corner Earth." The command deck glowed with blue light as systems came online. The fleet AI spoke through the speakers, tone even and cold. All stealth units synchronized. "Enemy detection minimal. Orders?" Marcus turned toward the holographic display showing the incoming alien fleet. It looked like a storm, 1,000,000,000 tons of metal and fire. "We wait until they're halfway into the system," he said. "Then we close the door. Far below, Earth watched the sky." The planet's defense grid hummed with energy, satellites aligning, orbital cannons locking into place. Every human, from scientists to soldiers, knew this was the final stand. There would be no surrender, no negotiation. The alien armada crossed the orbit of Mars, spreading wide, confident in their numbers. The Supreme Commander sneered. "They hide behind their planet. They think rocks and walls will save them. End this." Thousands of alien beams ignited, cutting through space toward Earth. But before they could strike, space itself rippled. Massive gravitational waves swept through the fleet, scattering their formation. Then, from nowhere, the Terran ships appeared, uncloaking in perfect synchronization. The humans had hidden behind the planets themselves, using gravity wells and magnetic interference to stay invisible. Now they struck. The first Terran volley hit with surgical precision. Alien carriers exploded in silent bursts of light, their fragments scattering across the void. Human destroyers moved through the chaos like hunters, their railguns and plasma arcs tearing through enemy shields. The aliens fired back, but their targeting systems failed. The humans were using signal ghosts, fake readings that made it impossible to tell which ship was real. In the command chamber of the Galactic Council, panic spread. The council speaker shouted, "How can they fight on this scale? Their world is a single planet." Another replied in disbelief, "Because every human is part of that world. They fight as one mind." The Supreme Commander of the alien fleet realized too late that something worse was happening. His long-range sensors showed multiple new warp signatures forming behind his fleet, more Terran ships. "Impossible! They were all here!" he screamed. Marcus smiled as he watched the trap unfold. "We built the Dawn Fleet in secret," he said quietly. "But you never thought to look for the Night Fleet." From behind the alien armada, another 1,000 human ships emerged, cutting off retreat. The galaxy's largest invasion force was surrounded. The battle became a storm of fire and silence. Earth's sky burned with the light of explosions visible even to the naked eye. Terran railguns fired at near light speed, shredding dreadnoughts that dwarfed mountains. Alien plasma beams cut through human lines, but the humans adapted, constantly changing formation, constantly adjusting tactics. Every move was calculated, every loss countered by 3 strikes. In orbit, the resolute Dawn led the final charge. Marcus ordered, "Prepare the core weapon." The engineer hesitated. "Captain, if we use it again, it could tear the ship apart." Marcus nodded. "Then we'll go down with it." "Begin charge!" Deep within the ship, the Dawn array began to glow. Energy levels surged beyond safety limits. The crew braced as the weapon reached full capacity. Marcus stood at the center console, staring into the heart of the storm. Fire! A beam of white energy tore through space, slicing across the alien flagship and the ships beyond. The explosion that followed was silent but endless. When the light faded, half the enemy fleet was gone. The resolute Dawn drifted, its systems failing, hull cracking from the power it had unleashed. But the aliens were broken. Their remaining ships scattered, retreating into the dark. Humanity had held. In the Galactic Council, chaos turned to silence. The speaker faced the assembly. Their planet stands. Their fleets remain. We have lost. An elder ambassador spoke slowly. We called them dangerous because they were unpredictable. We were right. But it is not destruction they seek. It is survival. The council chamber fell quiet as the realization spread. Earth could not be controlled. It could not be ruled. The humans had proven they could match the combined power of a galaxy and still stand unbroken. Back aboard the resolute Dawn, the surviving crew struggled to restore power. Marcus stood at the viewport, watching the last of the alien ships vanish into warp. His voice was quiet, almost distant. They came for our world and learned what it means to face it. The communications officer turned, smiling faintly. Sir, Earth reports minimal damage. The people are celebrating. Marcus nodded. Let them. They earned it. But deep inside, he knew the truth. The galaxy had seen Earth's strength, and strength always brought fear. Humanity's victory was not the end. It was the beginning of something larger. Hours later, as the ship orbited above the glowing planet, a transmission came through. The Galactic Council speaker's face appeared on the screen, weary and defeated. Captain Marcus, it said, you have destroyed our fleets. You have shaken the balance of power. What are your intentions now? Marcus looked directly into the camera. His voice was calm, but it carried a weight that silenced the chamber. We didn't start this war, he said. But if you ever come for Earth again, remember this day. Remember what happens when you force us to fight. He ended the call. The stars outside shimmered with wreckage and drifting debris. Humanity had faced the galaxy and survived. Later that night, as the resolute Dawn's engines hummed quietly, Marcus looked at the planet below, a small blue world in the endless dark. We're the newcomers in this galaxy, he murmured, but maybe that's what makes us dangerous. We're still hungry, still learning, still growing. Far across the stars, the remnants of the alien fleets limped back to their home systems, whispering of the day Earth fought the galaxy and won. Some called it madness, others called it prophecy. But in every corner of known space, one truth spread faster than light. Humanity was no longer to be ignored. The next dawn rose over Earth, golden and quiet. Cities rebuilt, ships returned, and people looked to the sky not with fear, but with pride. They had seen the edge of extinction and had not broken. The galaxy had thought humanity was small. It had forgotten one thing, that small things can be the sharpest blades, and somewhere in the silence of space, among the stars that still burned from battle, the Terran warship Resolute Dawn drifted onward. Its engines lighting the dark like a promise. If they come again, humanity will be ready.